Here we go. You good? You good?
Yeah.
Or you up a little bit on the mic, speakers. Alright, everybody, welcome back to LiveWire Film Reviews. This is Ray Gonzalez.
Andy.
And yeah, hold on. We got the usual suspects here on my right. We got Brandon Brown. And then on my left side, I got Andy Mack on Skype.
It's good.
Yeah, man. We had to stall a little bit because of Memorial Day weekend. Got my little Coke over here. But yeah, we're gonna talk about the movies that came out this weekend. Brandon won't have much to say because Brandon took a little vacay and went to Vegas. Just cause. I guess we enjoy your company. Yeah, so we're gonna talk about Tomorrowland, starring George
You can review the trailer.
Let's play the trailer. He's like, well, that looks kind of good. I didn't like the way that trailer played out. Alright, but we're gonna talk about Tomorrowland with George Clooney, and then probably say a little bit about the other movie that came out, Poltergeist. There's really not much to say, so we're probably just gonna have the main talk about Tomorrowland. So let's go. But before we go into the movie itself, we should really go into the director. I wanted to go in a little bit on the director. His name is Brad Bird. Now he started he started with animation, and his first big movie was The Iron Giant with Vin Diesel. Did you ever see that shit?
The cartoon?
The Iron Giant, yeah.
Vin Diesel was in that?
He's the Iron Giant.
Oh, get out of here.
Did you ever see that?
I never finished it.
Never finished it. Well, was it considered to be one of the best movies of that year, even though it flopped.
Oh, come on, man. It's Iron Giant, man. You got to talk about it like that.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just spitting out facts. It was considered, it was considered to be one of the biggest animated movies of that year, but it flopped. But it got all the recognition. Later on, Brad Bird went on to do, which one came first, The Incredibles or Ratatouille? I think The Incredibles. Well, he made The Incredibles, which everybody went crazy for, and it became a huge hit, and everybody's been dying for him to make a part 2. And then he also made Ratatouille. And then after that, he decided to go into the live action stream and went into making Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible 4. And he kind of succeeded in bringing something new to Mission Impossible and making the best one out of the bunch. But now Tomorrowland comes, and it's his big original concept, original idea, when it comes to live action, not compared to like something like Mission Impossible that's like a part 4 sequel. He wrote the screenplay with Damon Lindelof, who people know from Fringe. And did you ever watch Fringe, Andy? You look like you seem like the type of dude to watch Fringe.
It's on my Netflix list.
Yeah,
gotta get to it.
He also worked on Lost, which I used to watch, but he also wrote screenplays for like Prometheus and the Star Trek movie, the Star Trek 2. So yeah, this is the original concept, and it's based off a ride or a theme park side of Disney World, and it's about how do I say that? It's about two characters. One is a little boy from the 1960s who was a brilliant scientist, inventor, who became
creators.
Yeah.
I don't know. Creators. Is that a word?
Not yet.
A dreamer.
There we go. And he's one of the biggest, brightest minds of his time in the 60s, who turns out gets old and becomes a cynical George Clooney. And then on the other side, we got Britt Robertson, who plays a young daughter, or the young daughter of a NASA scientist, played by Tim McGraw. It's all right. If you hungry, eat that. You can grab it. Open it up.
Don't make too much noise.
No, that's for you. You fine. But played by Tim McGraw, and she's the big, bright inventor and creative dreamer and all that from modern times, and they get a special little pin with the letter T for Tomorrowland that as soon as they touch it, they get sent to a brand new world full of hope and wonder and blah blah blah. But they have to work together to try to find a way to get to this place. So let's start with that. Let's just start with that for now. But what do you think, Andy? How'd you feel about the film?
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Okay.
Even though I felt like afterwards, I was like, the ending. I just felt like I didn't understand. Like, did they accomplish
what they were
their goal, or maybe it wasn't that. Maybe it felt like it was too rushed or something. I don't know, but
when you mean like whether they accomplish their goal, are you talking about like the filmmakers, or are you talking about the characters in the movie? Like
talking about the characters.
The characters in the movie. Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess they kind of did, but because you know how it shows the kids at the end, they're like trying to make it better, but
yeah, and they get sent out on their mission and everything. But I do know what you mean. The one thing I like this movie a lot. I was so surprised on how much I liked this movie, because I have to say, by the previews, I wasn't too extremely impressed, because they didn't. It's almost like the marketing didn't really know how to market this movie, so not a lot of people really knew what it was about. And I really liked the whole style and the look of the film. And a lot of movies tend to, talk about the end of the world, and they try to they really push the whole end of the world and destruction and death and everything in a very negative, very depressing manner. And this movie really tried to flip that idea and make it like the end of the world could happen, but we can make it better. We can make it great. It's such a positive movie with great ideas and a great sense of adventure that I was just like, more kids need to watch these movies, man, because they need to get their minds open. I mean, Avengers is cool, and all the superhero movies are cool, but sometimes you need that creative. This is like the kind of movie that if kids watch it, it'll open up their creative minds. And that's what
nice little message. Yeah, I'm thinking that too. It could inspire the kids of the future, in real life. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. That's what I like the most out about it, because I watched it with my lady, and that when we walked out, she was just like, "Well, I can see what the bad reviews were about," and I was like, "Well, what do you mean?" It's like, "Well, they try to really ham it in on the politics and shit." And they do in the movie. They do try to give you the political aspect of the film, because of the human race, the media and stuff they push on the end of the world. They actually pushed it, and I'm like, well, it's almost like political correctness for dummies. But they're trying to do this so kids can understand. Kids don't fucking watch headline news. Kids don't fucking watch this shit. They don't know what the fuck is going on in the world. This is meant for little kids to understand. This is a little kids movie. So how the fuck are you gonna try to make it a fucking morally complex film when this movie's targeted kids from 8 and up? Get the fuck out of here, man. Another thing that I have to, no disrespect to the Fast and the Furious movies, but how the fuck is a Fast and the Furious 7 gonna get an 82% on Rotten Tomatoes, but fucking Tomorrowland get a 49%? I don't know what the fuck is going on in here and shit. But I digress. Like,
y'all for,
what was that?
what you say?
What was that? What you say?
Says pop y'all for Paul.
Yeah, because fucking Paul's dead, and I love Paul, man. But shit, god damn. Another thing. Well, let me start with the pros before I go with the cons. The pros of the movie are the visuals. I mean, Brad Bird really knew what he was doing with the sense of adventure. It almost feels like something out of a 80s, movies like, Indiana Jones, and very like how Steven Spielberg used to do with his adventure movies. Like, and I really like the style of it. And you have, it's not just, science mumbo jumbo, because there is plenty of science mumbo jumbo, but there is plenty of action, plenty of robots and aliens and all that shit going on.
Yeah, another AI movie to add to the list for the year.
You know what? There is
Athena.
Yeah. So like the two main characters are brought together by some little girl named Athena that we don't realize till later that she's a robot, that her mission is to bring them together and to try to bring them to Tomorrowland to save the world and make it a better place. Athena, let me see. I've never seen that girl before in my life. Athena is played by Raffi Cassidy, and she was amazing. I've never seen her. Oh, she played Snow White in Snow White and the Huntsman. That's about it. But she was pretty damn great. And yeah, I mean.
How do you like the actors? Did you like Clooney? Did you like what was his name? Britt Robertson? You like the kid from Looper?
Yeah, the kid from Looper. I was like, it's been a fucking minute since I seen that little motherfucker. Like,
McGraw, got Hugh Laurie.
You know what? The one
person. Boy from Key and Peele.
Oh yeah. Well, let me go into say I really like George Clooney. I like George Clooney a lot in this film, even though he plays the character that never got any as a kid, and he grew up alone and shit, and he still got a grudge on the little girl because he had a crush on the little Athena.
You saw when she died, he was looking like...
He was like...
I was like he wanted to kiss her or something. Like, he's a robot though, man. Come on.
He's like, this is long overdue. You gonna give me some. I like George Clooney a lot. I like Britt Robertson a lot. I think she's gonna do big things if she picks the right roles, man. She's gorgeous. Plus she has a lot of spunk. She has a lot of charisma. The person that I really liked a lot was the kid that plays George Clooney as a child. His name is Thomas Robinson. That whole beginning of the film where you see his character going into the Epcot Center and then flying to Tomorrowland, I have to say that's one of the best moments in the film altogether. Like, so much imagination that I literally was just like so amazed by the originality and the sense of adventure that it has, that I was just like, man, I'm on for a ride. Now I like Britt Robertson and everything, but as soon as like the whole George Clooney aspect as a kid aspect is over and we go into Britt Robertson's character she plays Casey Newton, it kind of like slowed down a bit, like, and then when she gets the little pin for Tomorrowland and starts, because she sees like the vision of this place, but she's really still on planet Earth, and like, for somebody so smart, how many fucking times you're gonna hit your head on a fucking wall? You know what I'm saying? Like, and after the first time when you hit yourself on the wall, because obviously you're still in planet Earth and shit, how are you gonna still fucking use it in the middle of the night in your fucking house while you fall under the stairs or you keep hitting the wall? I mean, that's not something a fucking smart person would do. I'm sorry. But with that said, I thought it was cool. Like, I thought it was good. once the Athena shows up, the little robot shows up in Britt Robertson's storyline, and once they meet up, George Clooney and her meet up, I thought the movie really picked up. And yeah, you know what? I really like the scene with Keegan Michael Key. Like, shit.
Oh yeah.
I really did like that
shit. It was funny. You know, they had a little action in there.
He had the fucking little jelly roll. You know, the sweater with the jelly roll coming out. I was just like, holy shit. with the dreads and shit. And then his homegirl was she's in like a whole bunch of movies. Catherine Hahn, you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I always had a thing for her. I ain't gonna lie.
I didn't even know that was Tim McGraw until after the movie. I was like, oh, that was Tim McGraw.
Tim McGraw getting old, bro. That's like I was just like, holy shit. Like, Tim McGraw's getting fucking old. Like, God. But he was everybody was good. Everybody was good. And you know what? Like, one of my favorite little actresses, and she's like in every movie, but like not a lot of people even know her name. Her name is Judy Greer. One of my favorite actresses. She makes an appearance. She's actually Casey's mom, and you only see her in like half a second of a flashback and shit. Do you know what I'm talking about? When like Casey is like a little girl and you see like a little old video of them looking at the stars.
I don't remember that, but I know who you're talking about. I just watched the remake of Carrie.
Yeah.
She was in it, so I was like, oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. She's fucking everywhere, getting all this fucking love, you know. But no, not a lot of people notice. But you know what, Judy, I notice, and I want to let you know that I love you. She's fucking gorgeous too. Anyways, so yeah, I'll like a lot of good things in this movie. Great sense of adventure and everything. Now let's go to the cons. And to the cons, I have to say, which I think is the biggest problem of the movie, is the co-writer of the film, Damon Lindelof. Like, that motherfucker cannot...
How you know it was him? What if it was Brad?
No,
like,
man. No,
Brad don't do us wrong.
No, man, because you know what? I fucking watch Prometheus, which a lot of people will try to still give it love, and I think that's one of the stupidest motherfucking movies I've ever seen in my fucking life. The dumbest fucking screenplay, and that was written by who? Damon fucking Lindelof. Like the whole, and Star Trek Into Darkness, that, you know, like all the flaws, I know that shit was Damon Lindelof. Like, and the flaws here, he has a tendency of giving you a lot of questions, no fucking answers, you know, like about the world, about Tomorrowland and everything. And I understand, you know, that they want to set it up as a franchise. So Tomorrowland 1, then there's Tomorrowland 2 and stuff. But, you know, the movie's fucking called Tomorrowland, and we get fucking 25 minutes of Tomorrowland. We barely ever see Tomorrowland. And it's all a talk about, just like in Prometheus, all this talk about this new alien and this alien that might have created humanity until like in the last 10 minutes we finally get him. No, man. No. He did the same shit with this one. And if it wasn't for somebody like Brad Bird that has a great sense of adventure, this movie would have stunk like fucking all hell. Another thing that I didn't like was Hugh Laurie. I'm sorry, but...
Yeah, I was going to ask you. I was like, did you like Hugh Laurie? Because, nah, he wasn't... He was just there. I don't know, he just...
The best thing about Hugh Laurie was the toupee on his head, man. Like... I did not like that motherfucker not 1 minute. He's just playing the house thing, like, to this day. I mean, obviously he's supposed to play like some superhuman, you know, entity or whatever, or, you know, smarter than human being and whatnot, but it looked to me like he just came in there for a nice paycheck, hoping that it's gonna be a hit, and he's like, well, I'll be back on the next one. Or something, because he was just boring. But other than that, the big flaw, and I have to admit, it is the politics of the film. the politics of the film are a little, too black and white. And I know it's meant to be black and white for the children, but it's a little pretty ridiculous. And we understand that, we're human race are to blame for the world, but damn, it's a little heavy-handed. And it kind of all like falls into like the third act. They like save it all for like the last act of the film, like the last 20 minutes of the movie, just cuz. And then just to, we wrap it around with a lot of action, a lot of, we got George Clooney fighting Hugh Laurie, we got robots fighting over here, we got guards shooting over there, all in the same fucking room. Like
fight each.
I was just like, man. But still, with all that being said, man, I loved it. I really loved it, and I think a lot of people should watch it. It didn't make a lot of money. It was still number 1 in the box office, but it didn't make as much money as people were expecting. And I really hope that more families take their kids to see this movie, because I think it's good for kids to watch something like this. It's very creative. It's very inspiring on a creative level. It's a lot of fun. It's a great sense of adventure. You get George Clooney not trying to sleep with nobody, so it's family friendly. George, you get, Britt Robertson getting more attention and becoming a big thing. And it's, if you've never been to Disneyland and you can't afford Disneyland, just go to Tomorrowland, How many stars would you give it?
I mean Disney World, right? Because that's not at the regular ones, is it?
Oh shit, I don't fucking know. I'm gonna be really honest. I didn't even know it was a theme park ride until like my dad told me 2 days ago. Because I was just like, wow, this is so original.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like Tomorrowland, I don't remember Tomorrowland at Disneyland. Unless maybe it is at Disney World.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, with the Epcot Center and shit, but I didn't even know it was a ride. I didn't even know it was a fucking ride or a fucking area in Disney World or everything. I haven't been to Disney either one since I was like a little baby, so shit. But yeah, the more you know. But yeah, how many stars would you give it?
Probably like 3.
Oh, 3.
3.5, around there. 3 point.
Damn.
I don't know.
Damn. Why 3.5? What are your drawbacks? What's keeping it from a perfect?
I'm still like confused about. I was still confused about the ending.
Okay.
That part, like the Hugh Lauer's character, like he was like trying to prevent them from.
Well, he was trying
making
to
the world a better place.
Well, he was trying, like, his goal was to send those subliminal messages about the end of the world, so it can spark the people on planet Earth to try to make it a better place. But instead, they just ate that shit up and just neglected that it could actually happen. And then, like, the next probable solution was to bring him to Tomorrowland and save him. But he was like, nah, just so they can fuck up my home? No. So that was the situation. So George Clooney found out that the reason why George Clooney was kicked out of Tomorrowland was because he found out that was the plan. And he's like, oh, you're not going to do anything about it? And they're like, no. It's like, well, that's wrong. Well, get the fuck out. So yeah. But I can see what you're saying. Like I said, it does give you more questions and not a lot of answers. Or not a lot of answers just flat out. They you have to really like maybe look for it. Maybe they want you to watch it 2 or 3 more times. Like it's there somewhere. But okay.
So that's like probably like the third act.
Mm-hmm. The third act is definitely the weakest.
Like the first and second. So like what?
I can see that.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, what are you thinking?
Yeah, because you make a lot of valid points, and like like it's the same problems that I had, But you know, like I feel so like, man, this movie deserves a lot better than it gets, man. Like all this hate that this movie's getting, it's kind of like undeserved. I kind of feel bad. So I was just like, and you know, on a technical level, the movie's like amazing. It's better than a lot of the things that are already out in theaters. If it, you know, like other than Mad Max, you know, like, so I'm ready to give it 4. You know, like I was.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm like, that's fair.
I want to give it a solid 4 because you know it's got its heart in the right place. Like, yeah, the politics of it all is weak and the bad guys rather weak. But you got, you know, 3 great leads in George Clooney, Britt Robertson, and Raffi Cassidy. You got great adventure. You got great action sequences. I mean, you know, you got a great action sequence and you use Keegan-Michael Key in the action scene, like, you know, and you pulled that shit off, obviously. Like, you know, a lot of merit deserves that. And, you know, I'm going to give it a 4. That's what I'm going to go with.
I'll give it a 4.
You'll give it a 4? I'm glad I swayed you, you know. And so, yeah, there's Tomorrowland. And I'm a do check this shit out. I'm gonna do a so fast quick review here. I don't even need to, like, I don't think I'll do more than 2 minutes on this one. But the Poltergeist remake. Have you seen the older Poltergeist? You ever seen? No,
nah.
No. Apparently, not a lot of people. This is a remake of the old, you know, Spielberg, Tobe Hooper Poltergeist. It was rated PG. This one's made in PG-13 in 3D, and you replace a couple actors with Sam Rockwell, pretty much, and that's all that matters. And it's pretty much a play-by-play remake, you know, and it's so unnecessary. It was nothing really changes other than a couple of different actors, different character settings, and instead of being more imaginative like the first one was, they decided to go with a more Insidious type shit. And it just didn't work. It was lazy. It was boring. Everybody was sleepwalking in there. I couldn't even take Sam Rockwell serious, even as much as he tried. And I really don't think he tried that hard. It was directed by Gil Kennan, who made Monster House, the animated movie, and he also made this movie that not a lot of people saw with Bill Murray called City of Ember. Have you ever heard of that one, City of Ember? It's like it's a young adult novel. But yeah, this movie, if you've seen the original, don't bother. And if you haven't seen the original, go to Redbox or download it online on iTunes or Vudu or something. Because there's no point in watching this lazy half-assed remake. I'm gonna give this remake because it's so lazy. Like, on a technical level it's alright, but it's so lazy that I'm gonna give it a 1.5 out of 5. That's how lazy. Then, you know, and y'all couldn't even sway me. Like, unnecessary. Like, no, just no. It's boring and lazy. Nobody was scared. People were actually laughing. So yeah, I'm gonna go with a 1.5. Sorry, Sammy. Oh shit.
A miraculous place where you could actually change the world. You want to go?